Welcome to Mary's Creative Decor and Furniture Redesign. If you're looking for arts and crafts, glam wall art, upholstery, decorating ideas, and furniture redesign, you're in the right place. So the beginning of this video is a little different. As you can see, this chair has already been started, but I lost the footage. This is the fabric that came off the back of the chair and also the pillow cushion of the chair. And because I deleted or lost that footage, I wanted to give you some idea of what the chair looked like before I tore it apart. The footage is also missing from the first couple of steps that I did to start preparing for the chair. But that's okay. I'll explain to you everything that I did until we get to the point where I'm working now. I'll make sure I leave a link to other upholstery videos. So since my footage was lost, let me tell you what I've done so far. The first thing I needed to do was put fabric around the front side of the chair. I did not want to sew anything, so I cut a piece. I glued it to what was already on the bottom of the chair, and now I'm doing the arms. So I've cut my fabric, and now I'm just stretching the fabric, pulling it through the back of the chair. I make sure my fabric will stretch and fold nicely around the arm. I make a slit on the side again so the fabric will fold and pull easily around the arm. I then cut away any excess material. You might have to cut and pull a few times before you staple, but you want to make sure that you have a good clean fit and staple. Once you've cut away all the excess material and have a smooth tuck around the corner, you want to push the fabric on the inside, pull through to the outer side, and staple to the outside wood, as I'm doing here. We want to repeat the same process. We want to split around the seat. Pull the fabric tight, pull it around the bottom part of the arm, and staple. Now I'm pulling my fabric tight. I'm rolling it under the arm, the circular part, and I want to staple in an upward motion. For the front of the arm, we want to take our fabric, pull tight to the front, staple, making pleats inward around the front side of the arm and staple. Again, we want to cut away all excess fabric along the side as well as around the circular part of the arm. Now we're going to move to the wing of the arm. I've cut my fabric and now I'm adjusting it and pushing it through the back side of the chair, pulling the fabric tight, making sure that I have a good fit before I start any stapling. Also, the piece on the back, you see it lying there, but it's not stapled down. Again, that's part of the footage that was lost, but that piece is just there. I don't want to staple it until I have the sides just how they want them to go, all the fabric in the back, and then I'll make those staples in the back, so you will see me do that. I can also pull tight the fabric from the back of the chair and staple it as well. I'm just stapling that side panel piece so that I can make sure I can pull it around the back side of the chair and get a smooth finish. Now I'm pulling down the back of the chair, the back part, And I'm pulling that fabric tape and I'm making that seam so that they come together. I flip it around to the front so you can see. And then I'm stapling the side panel as I pull tight along the front side of the chair, cutting away all excess fabric. And yes, I'm pulling all of my fabric to the center of the front arm. I'm doing this because we will be adding studs to cover them up. At the bottom of the wing, I want to do the same thing. I want to smooth my fabric and pull it around the arm and staple. I then added my side panel, stretching the fabric to the front, stapling, and to the back and stapling. As you can see on the side of the chair, there is no batting or foam. I decided to add foam. I folded my foam over twice, cut it to size, and applied it in the space before adding my fabric. Before adding my foam, I needed to add my fabric to the bottom of the chair. I took this cardboard straight edge. I faced my fabric face down with the top side of the chair, and I used this cardboard trim to make my straight edge under the bottom of the arm. Here I'm laying down my foam padding, but you can see the cardboard strip where I stapled down my fabric. Pull down my fabric over the batting and staple that underneath. I stretch my material to the front of the chair and staple it down the front side of the chair. I cut away excess foam, continue to staple. On the back side of the chair, I cut my fabric close to the leg so that it will fold around the chair. I stapled it. The excess batting, once again, I cut it away. Cut away any excess material, folded my material under the batting, pulled tight, stapled to the back side of the chair. Now it's time to work on the two panels for the front of the chair. The first thing I did was remove the old fabric, use that fabric as a template to cut out new fabric for the front of the chair. There was also some repairs that needed to be made to the cardboard. I used my hot glue gun to make those repairs. I also had to use my pliers to straighten out the tacks that's in the inside of the cardboard. I'll then place my cardboard on my fabric, cut in the corners, use my hot glue gun to wrap the fabric around the cardboard. I'll use my hammer to make sure that all my staples are stapled in. If I need to, I will cut away any excess material. Take my covered piece, attach it to the chair, use my hammer to nail in the tacks. I then added decorative tacks to the front side and the arm of the chair. Moving on to covering the back. This is my cardboard stripping. This I will use to make my straight seam on the back. I'm cutting it to size and then I will be stapling it to the back of the chair. I'm putting my fabric down face to face, laying the fabric around the back of the chair, and then I'll staple the cardboard to make that straight edge. You also want to make sure you follow the contour of the chair. I use my hammer to make sure that my tacks are secure into the wood. I then flip my fabric back over, check and make sure I have the right contour. Then I stretch my fabric, making sure that I have enough to do the sides and cut away any excess material. I also use straight pins to hold the fabric in place while I cut. Once my fabric is cut down, I remove the metal tack strips from the old material so that I can apply it to the new. To make it easier to work on, I flip the chair over. I straighten out my tack strip as straight as I can get it, and then I apply it to the underside of the fabric, roll toward myself, and then the tack will be facing the wood, and I will hit it with my hammer until the tack goes into the wood. I did switch to a rubber mallet as to not damage the fabric. I continue stretching the fabric around, pushing the tack down, and using my rubber mallet to nail it in. Once I get to the end, I'm ready to fold the material under the bottom side of the chair. Now it's time to staple down the fabric to the bottom side of the chair. I'm also making a split close to the leg of the chair, and I'll fold the fabric down along the side of the chair leg and staple. I'm adding the dust catcher to the bottom of the chair. I'm reusing the piece that I already had since it was still good. I'm going to continue adding the dust catcher on the bottom of the chair. As I said before, I have to hand sew my pillow cushions because my sewing machines is not working, and I'll come back for the reveal. And just like that, my chair is complete. It turned out absolutely beautiful. I had many challenges, but in the end, it's not done professionally. It's done by a DIY, and I think my sister will actually love it in her bedroom. I also added off camera the silver nail head strips. I have used them before on other DIYs, and I will leave a link to those videos in the description box below. The silver nail heads give it a modern look to a traditional chair. Because this is not actual upholstery fabric, the fabric is a little thin. When I pulled the fabric over the back side of the chair, it left pinholes or small holes. So I used a piece to cover it just to make sure the holes don't get any bigger. I used fabric glue to glue the piece to the back of the chair. And this won't matter as much because it will be against the wall. So if you're out there watching and you've enjoyed this content and you haven't subscribed, now is the time to do so. You want to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share this video with your friends and your family. And don't forget the notification bell so you'll be aware of all of my upcoming videos. I want to say thanks for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.